What's up, everybody? Brian Tong here outside of Apple Park, and behind me, this is the Apple Visitor Center. We hang out here all the time after the big keynotes, but yes, of course, this is Apple's big It's Glow Time event, the fall season, and you know what it means. That means new iPhones, new Apple Watches, and whatever else they throw at us, and they threw out a whole bunch at us this year. So what we're gonna do is recap this, give you my thoughts. There's so much information here, but I'm gonna try to condense what stuck out for me, and all these details, I'm still processing them, so yes, surprise, I will not be able to cover every single minute detail, but we'll get into as much as we possibly can. So let's start off, first of all, with the iPhone, and specifically for me, the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. Now, when I think about these phones, when you look at them, yeah, they look a lot like the iPhone 12 Pro. I jokingly have referred it to the 12 Pro SS, but the thing that really got to me as a content creator is the camera control. Now first, let's look at the design here. 6.3 inches for the Pro, 6.9 inches for the Pro Max. Now they say there's a thinner bezel. At first look, I felt that is actually the design of the new phones. The bevel edge was a little just like more curved and sloped, where the 15 Pro has a little harder edge. It felt smoother. It felt like the screen extended a little more. It's subtle, but the screen definitely looks bigger. And of course, the physical size of these phones is slightly bigger. Yes, internally inside, you have the A18 Pro. It's based on second generation nanometer technology. So what does that really mean? Smaller transistors, more power efficient, but just as powerful. So that's gonna give us some benefits with battery power. Now, Apple also said it has the biggest battery, but at the time of this recording, we don't exactly know, what does that translate into hours? We're gonna have to dig into that in the spec sheets. If you know, put in the comments, because I know how you like to comment and correct me when I don't have all the information. I appreciate it sometimes. So what really comes to mind when I look at this new phone is camera control as a content creator. Look, we heard about this before the keynote, but I think when I'm actually using it and playing with it, there's gonna be a lot of flexibility and just interesting ways we're gonna use this. Yes, it's a haptic button on the side. You do a little press to take a photo. You do a long press, and you gotta keep your finger out down there. Hold it for video. I thought that it was actually a little cumbersome. I would have liked a long press and then let go for the video to keep recording, but you actually have to keep your finger down for video. But then where it becomes really cool is that you do this like almost, let's call it like a half press. You'll get used to the sensitivity, but I can do things like change different functions, the aperture, different photography effects and styles. I can obviously switch between zoom or make it a quick transfer between the camera. There are all of these laid out, and to me as a creator, the quick access, it's almost like we have the action button here, but now we have a dedicated camera button to jump right into it. That is really amazing. Now, when we talk about the camera control as well, 4K 120. Okay, my mom doesn't care. She doesn't care about that, but I care if we can get truly buttery smooth, slow-mo, and the fact that while you're in the actual file and editing this file, you can actually see what it looks like. It's captured at 4K 120, but we can see how it looks like at 24 frames per second. We can see what it looks like at 30 and 60 and 120. That's gonna give us a lot of flexibility. They even teased how the Weeknd's music video used 4K 120, and it looked really, really nice. So those are the features of the cameras that stick out to me. We'll see how it translates to you at home. Maybe camera control isn't a big deal for you. That's okay, but for a content creator like me, it is. Now we talk about the camera. Yes, a 48 megapixel wide camera, a new 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. That's gonna give you a lot of flexibility. And then for the first time that I can recall, both the Pro and Pro Max have identical specs, whether it's the camera, whether it's the internals. So yes, you have the 5x telephoto optical zoom with the tetraprism lens for both phones. There is no difference on the cameras that we've seen. Apple, thank you, finally. Like, I never went to the Pro Max because it was too big, and I don't need to feel like I'm missing out on anything. You did it, you made it the same. Now, when I talk about this phone, the other thing I think about is, okay, you have those nice video features, you have the camera control, you have the new processor, you have these different photographic styles that after you take the photo, you can change and switch between them. I thought it felt like I had like a mini studio, and then you can even go and dive deeper into the different styles. Move your finger along a color palette to change the balance, to change the color tone. So creatively, this is the most creative iPhone we've seen. To me, they've finally really given us, put the Pro in the Pro phone. Now, the one thing that we haven't been able to try out, Apple's talking about this whole new audio capabilities, being able to record video. If I'm recording a subject and they're in frame, I can bring their audio to the front. Or I can change different options to incorporate audio on the sound. We've got to play with this. It seems and feels like it could be another incredible pro feature. So I really think for the first time, these are truly, air quotes, pro phones. But when I talk about, okay, who's gonna upgrade? If these features don't appeal to you, guess what? That's okay. And if you're someone who upgrades year after year after year, I really don't think these features are gonna be necessarily game changers. People that are on the 12 Pro, I think this is a phone for you to upgrade. People that are on the 13 Pro, I think you might be a little bit on the fence. If your phone works and you love what it does, don't upgrade. But for me as a content creator, yes, on camera control, yes, on 4K 120, that's me, but it may not be you. Put in the comments because I know you're really passionate about this. Same pricing as before, also pre-order now, available September 20th. So we have the Pro phones. We obviously also have the 16s, which a lot of the Pro stuff starts with what we saw in the 16. We have a new ceramic glass surface, which is, I guess they said it's 50% more durable from drops. You have a dual camera system set up there. They really talked about this 48 megapixel fusion camera. Essentially, it crops it so it includes both a 1x, a 2x, then you have an ultra wide 0.5x and macro. So it gives you 4 different cameras. Color-wise, you get, what is it, ultramarine, teal, and pink. And then, yes, USB-C, all the benefits. Size-wise still 6.1 and 6.7. iPhone 16 pricing remains the same. It starts at $799 and then goes upwards. Now let's talk about, though, if you really want me to get in the nitty-gritty of what was the announcement that made the biggest impact here that will affect people beyond this space, it has to be a product that already exists, and it's the new hearing functionality in AirPods Pro 2. Yes, AirPods 4th generation are here. We're gonna talk about it, but let's talk about what happened with the AirPods Pro 2. So what Apple is pitching this to us as the world's first all-in-one hearing experience. Now, I actually got to listen and try these on and these new features, and I'm gonna tell you, as someone who has a dad whose hearing is not as good as it used to be, as someone who knows a lot of people don't like wearing the big, chunkier hearing aids, which typically costs around $800 or more, as someone who knows that there's a social stigma about wearing, a larger hearing aid, and now to know that they're giving us some of this functionality in AirPods, which are socially acceptable, gives someone a different option. It is incredible. So I'm going to talk about a few things. There's, first of all, a scientific hearing test that's clinically supported and backed within your iPhone, okay? So you run a hearing test. It's kind of like you hear different tones. You tap on the screen to verify whether you can hear it. Then it tells you if you have moderate hearing loss, severe hearing loss, and from that, the next step is you can actually activate for you to then have hearing aid assistance. So it does the analysis, then you can do hearing aid assistance, and it knows from the tones that you may or not be able to hear. It can boost that. It can change the audio signature for you to hear better. Also, it pumps on conversational boost. This is where it targets someone that's talking in front of you. We listened to what it sounds like someone with mild hearing loss, and I had to literally stare at people talking to kind of interpret what they were saying, and then they flipped on the switch, and I'm like, this is a game changer. I can't tell you again, I experienced it. It's gonna be so huge. They say, 80% of people have not even done a hearing test in the last 5 years. I think the last time I did a hearing test might have been like 10 or 15 years ago. This is gonna be super helpful. And then on top of this hearing assistance, they have a new feature called active hearing protection. Now we know about adaptive audio, that you go out on the street, there's sounds maybe like construction work that might be loud. They've actually taken this to another level, used more advanced algorithms, and what hearing protection allows you to do is if there is up to 110 decibels at a sustained period of time, that is the benchmark where they enable this feature to, again, be more safe for your ears. So concerts, how many times even though I love BTS, it gets loud, and any concert you've been to, you might be like right next to the speaker, you get that ringing in your ear when you come back home. You had a great time and you're like, damn, I just destroyed my ears. We've already seen people wear AirPods at concerts with adaptive audio to compensate for this. Now they've taken it to this next level for active hearing protection. So this is all a software update for AirPods Pro 2. I know I'm talking about it, but I'm telling you, this is the most important announcement from this keynote, the biggest game changer of this keynote. The software update they say will be coming soon, all right? Maybe it's in the next month or so, but that typically tells me at least it's before the end of the year. But this is the world's first all-in-one hearing experience. and it is special. And again, this is a software upgrade for AirPods Pro 2. Okay, let's talk about the AirPods 4th generation. Are you still with me? Are you breathing with me? I'm here, you're here, let's go. So AirPods 4th generation, there's gonna be 2 models, but they look exactly the same. They've been redesigned to fit more ears. Their stems are gonna be different, but here's what we have. H2 chip inside. What did that do with the AirPods Pro 2? They're bringing it now to the 4th gen. You're getting better audio quality, and then all the advantages of adaptive audio, conversational awareness, personalized audio is now in the AirPods 4th gen. The biggest thing though is when you move up from base model 4th gen to noise canceling 4th gen, this is the first open air earbuds that have noise canceling. And why does this matter? Okay, AirPods Pro 2 have those silicone rubber tips. You stick them in your ear, they create a great seal. But I don't know how many of you have been on a plane. You feel that pressure in your ear. It can be uncomfortable. Sometimes you take it out, you put it back in, but it has that kind of like sealing feeling. Ooh, that's a good one. But not everyone likes that. My wife never liked that feeling. She's like, can I get noise canceling on a different AirPods? Not yet until today. So the Apple AirPods 4th generation, they called it an open air earbud, the first with true noise canceling, and it sounds incredible. It's actually more comfortable in my ears. And it's like, I have AirPods Pro 2. Of course, I love all the hearing assistance features I talked about, but damn, AirPods 4th generation, they're just more comfortable. And now they have noise cancellation. They're $179, so this is a nice price point. Doesn't get up to like $249. I think that the #1 selling AirPods this year, you know, at least if you look at this by the end of this year, will probably be the AirPods 4th gen. They're more affordable. They have all the bells and whistles that you get with the AirPods Pro 2. They have the ability to do touch, you know, pause and play, mute. You can't slide them for volume control. You also have the ability to do Siri gestures, and what that means is someone calls you and you're going somewhere, I can like nod yes, and I can nod no, like I can whip my head back and forth to them, but it has everything you expect from the Pro, just a few things like the Pro has a little better audio quality, a little better noise cancellation, but they both have noise cancellation. You're gonna have to try them for yourselves. I'm in love with what they're doing with the AirPods 4th generation, so definitely the AirPods as a whole. Chef's kiss, great Apple, very nice. Let's go talk Apple Watch. Yes, Apple Watch Series 10 is here. A new design that kind of still looks and feels like the old design. It is getting a larger display now. I haven't looked at the spec sheets, but Apple said it is just a tad bit larger than the 49mm Apple Watch Ultra 2 if you're talking about the larger size of the Apple Watch Series 10. So let's say it's 49.5 or maybe it's 50 millimeters. It is larger in size. It's also skinnier, 9.7 millimeters. Maybe you'll feel that more from the weight, but it is thinner by 10%. The previous Apple Watch. The larger display, I always like larger displays, so I'm all on board with that, but I do think there is definitely a segment of people that really like a smaller watch face because it's just not as intrusive. So yes, we have the largest size watch face on an Apple Watch standard that we do now. A new S10 chip, so this will make it more energy efficient. And this also kind of works hand in hand with this new wide angle OLED. So this, when you look at your watch and you're tilting it around, a lot of times it kind of can be darker at an angle. This is 40% brighter at wide angles. So just kind of a nice way to be able to take a peek and still see a bright Apple Watch. They're bringing a new software feature, ability to detect sleep apnea. I've been told that I probably have sleep apnea. I probably do. I've never been tested, but you run this test for like 30 days, it accumulates all this data. That is actually gonna be something that's super helpful for me. You have a new speaker on here that allows you to now audibly, if you want to. This could be bad on public transit, but you can listen, you can hear, you know, music. Oh, good Lord. Do we want this? In some cases, yes, but some cases, no. But there's actually, right, a physical speaker that you can hear content playing through the new Apple Watch. Overall, I think it's a nice improvement. You also have the Ultra 2 that doesn't change, but it does get this new satin black finish. Okay, that's kind of sexy. We've been hoping for something dark for a while. And then a new titanium Milanese loop. This looks sexy. They have this clip on it called the parachute clip that you can open up, and then you have that nice mesh. Am I gonna buy one of those? Yeah, probably. Not the satin black, but the titanium Milanese loop. Yes. So if we're talking about pricing here, Apple Watch Series 10 starts at $399, $499 for the cellular and GPS, and then Apple Watch Ultra 2 with the new color, still same price, starts at $799 and then upwards. Oh, did I almost forget? Were there AirPods Max here? Oh! Did you see that? Purple, purple, purple. AirPods Max, purple. USB-C, purple, purple. So that guy, he really likes purple, but there's more colors than that. We have orange, we have the new purple, we have a new blue, then there's midnight, and then there's starlight. And of course, in Apple fashion, the midnight matches your midnight devices like your watch or your laptop or your starlight phone and laptop. They all match. So if you're into that matchy, look, there's for you. Now, AirPods Max, again, like I said, new colors, USB-C, and the same price, $549. Nothing technically different other than that USB-C port and colors, just in case you were curious. All right, so, I mean, there's so much more to talk about, but I'll just do this quick note here. Apple Intelligence made an appearance, but I think maybe the most, I guess I should say, yeah, it's a little disappointing. They talked about and teased new features, but what did we really pull from this? Yes, everything they showed us at WWDC is still coming. The features will still be in beta for the most part. Genmojis and Image Playground sometime by the end of the year in beta, but we are not gonna see a fully final finished Apple Intelligence baked product, most likely before the end of the year. And that's great, you know, Apple is pursuing Apple Intelligence, but until we get the whole caboodle, kit and caboodle, the whole chimichanga all together in a finalized form, it's gonna be harder for us to really truly evaluate it, and that might be until next year. So new hardware across the board, iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16 Max, AirPods 4th generation, AirPods Pro 2, the hottest software update that we have seen in a long time. Then you got the Apple Watch Series 10, Apple Watch Ultra 2 new colors, and AirPods Max. How long is this video? Is this like a 15-minute video? Is it 20? I'm just guessing, but hey, if you're here, you're rocking with us, you're rocking with us. So those are the big takeaways and impressions from here. We will have tons of more content coming from the channel, but there you go, kind of the general recap and reactions to the first hot takes here at Apple Park. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Take care, peace, and love.